feel like a new person. Oh my gosh, I put my son in daycare and now I have time. I have time to work, I have time to think, I have time to be creative, and I feel like we're entering a new era. So I wanted to talk about my vision and my goals and what I'm working on. And yeah, we're entering a new era, so let's talk about it. Okay, so I want to be real with you for a second here. And it's probably going to take me a little bit to get in the flow of this video, but I really just want to address everything that happened after becoming a mom, trying to continue to work while being a mom. And there are just so many pressures in society that don't make sense. And when I experienced it as a mother myself, I couldn't do it. I really did struggle, honestly, after I gave birth to try to find the balance. And I have to be honest that the day that I came back from the hospital, I was working. And I'm all about this culture of making money online, so you don't have to, work 24 hours a day, and you don't have to take time away from your family, and you can spend the time and do the things that you like, all because you're making money online. And that is what happened. And I was making money online, but at the same time, I created so many different income streams for myself just because I had shiny object syndrome, where I was chasing too many ideas and I wanted to do it all at once. And I truly believed that I could, but I didn't delegate enough. So I ended up working way too much right after giving birth. I'm telling you, the day I came back from the hospital, I was working. I was filming content. I had campaigns that I had to submit. I literally just gave birth. And a few days later, I had campaigns to submit and send over and review. Like, my baby was sleeping and I was blow drying my hair so I can film content. That continued. I never took full time off. Like, I would say not even a month where I took full time off for me to be able to just be a mother. And that really took a huge toll on my mental health, on my work, on my creativity. I just felt a huge block. Like, I couldn't think anymore. I felt like I was just stuck in this wheel, this rat wheel, where I was just going through the motions and doing the same thing that I was doing before I gave birth. But in reality, my life is so different with a baby now. I had so many different things going on. So I had my course, and I had my Amazon business, and I had my Own the Trend business that was outside of Amazon. I had my sponsored posts, and of course my social media that is fueling everything. I had to keep that up, and basically posting every day and being creative and coming up with ideas, and that alone is very tasking. Like, that alone is a full-time job. And to be honest, my Amazon business was the least time consuming. The most time consuming was my social media, of course, and the course, because obviously I have over 2,000 students that want my help and that are asking me questions and that want my attention. So that was very taxing. And at the same time, I had this brilliant idea that I wanted to launch an agency. And this truly was my dream for so long, is to launch an agency to help businesses improve their Amazon presence, and not just with Amazon, e-commerce as a whole, and to do influencer marketing for them. And this was something that I believed in so much, and I see so many businesses not doing. So I really wanted to start an agency to help businesses do that. And I did. I worked on the website, I launched the agency, all of this while being a new mom with a newborn. Now that I have a lot more help, now that I was able to put my son into daycare, I can focus. I feel I am entering a new era. I have, basically honed in on the exact projects that I want to work on, and I've stopped working on a lot of things that were very time consuming for me, very stressful, and are not my main source of income, so I can just kind of let them go. One of them being the course. So I know that the course was the center of my existence on Instagram and on TikTok, and it's because all of the content that I was creating was about Amazon, and everybody wanted a course and how-to videos and a guide on how to sell on Amazon. And that was basically the entire core of my social media presence. So I had a huge focus on that, but I have to say that it's very time consuming for me, and it's not my passion, and it doesn't have to be. Like, when a social media creator does a course, it doesn't have to be the thing that I do forever. So I just came to the realization that it's not my passion, and it was kind of killing my creativity, and I felt very stuck in a certain type of, or a certain style of content that I genuinely didn't want to do anymore. So the course is not something that I'm focusing on right now. Fixes that I am doing to take control back of my creativity, take control back of my time, take control back of my direction, basically, that I want to go in. Because if I just stayed stuck in this rat wheel, I would just be dying, basically. I would be dying creatively, I would be dying on social media. I just couldn't do it anymore. I felt the content that I was doing was, I would say, it felt empty to me, or at least to me it felt empty while I was creating it. I guess the thing that I'm most passionate about right now, and since we relocated to Egypt, we have relaunched On The Trend here, and we are doing amazing with our online. We just opened up our first pop-up booth. We are in June, end of June, going to open our first temporary store in the North Coast, which is like where all the beaches are. So this is a huge passion project, and this is what started all of this. Like, On The Trend was the beginning. I feel like I kind of, lost my way a little bit after we started On The Trend, and I just kind of went into Amazon, and I didn't continue working on my Amazon business. Instead, I kind of got caught up in the whole courses thing, and I was working on that a little bit too much, I would say. Another project that I'm very passionate about is the agency, and although this is, I would say, the most stressful of all of them, but I'm still very passionate about it. The agency is really tough because it feels like you're working 10 corporate jobs at the same time, and all of these different companies are demanding results very quickly and demanding your time and responses very quickly. But recently I learned to delegate a little bit more, and for me to not be the center and point of contact for all of my clients, it just wasn't going to work, and it's again was killing my creativity. Anything that I feel is killing my creativity or killing my passion, I am not doing, or I need to find a solution for. So On The Trend, the agency, and of course the Amazon business that we acquired. And yes, I am still working on Amazon, and I still fully believe in Amazon FBA as a business, and my course is still up, but I'm just not promoting it anymore. It's just the pre-recorded videos of all of my basically strategies and everything that I plug and play into my Amazon business now. So I still believe in Amazon FBA, and I am actually invested in it. So my new business, the towel warmer, is doing amazing, and I am focusing on that. And surprise, surprise, of course, it's the least time consuming of my businesses, but it's doing really well. In the first month, I believe we hit 10K, and then now we so far are at 5.4K, and it's just the first 10 days. So it's going well, and we're going very slow with it because the inventory is really expensive. But again, this is something that I am also passionate about, and something that makes me really excited, and it's not very time consuming, and it makes us some money on the side, which is great. And that's the whole point of Amazon FBA. Honestly, this has made the biggest difference, is finding time to do nothing. I feel that creative personalities need to find time to do nothing for their creative juices to flow, and this was the biggest thing that I didn't have before. I was always consumed with something, whether it was my son, or cleaning the house, or cooking, or working on the 10,000 different projects that I had at the same time. So I never had time to just sit down and do nothing, and now I do. So it's very important, and I feel that this has really sparked so many new ideas and has gotten me excited about new branding ideas for On The Trend, new content ideas, and it's just made me a little bit more relaxed. So find time to do nothing is very important. I mentioned this before, but delegate tasks that are taking too long and are not money-making actions. So for example, I mentioned this with the agency, so being the main point of contact for all of my clients, this was too taxing for me and it wasn't really a money-making action. I could have an account manager to do that and to provide more frequent updates than I would have, and the clients would be a lot more happy and they would be a lot more satisfied, and I would have my time freed up to do something else that makes me happy and that makes me feel, you know, more passionate and more creative than to just be sitting on Slack answering all day. So delegating tasks is very important, and although sometimes I feel like it hurts to just pay someone to do such small tasks, that I feel like, oh well, I could just do it myself. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, buying your time back and buying your peace of mind, and it's gonna make you more money later on down the line, because now I can just focus on my more important money-making action. Lists and organizing my thoughts. This is something that I do very on and off. Like, I will come to a place in my life where I'm like, oh, I am a list maker and I'm going to write down to-do lists every day, and then 2 days later I completely forget about it and I don't follow on my to-do lists, or I don't write it anymore, or I'm just not consistent with it. But this is something that I am actively trying to do a lot more often, because I find that when it's time for me to sit down and work, sometimes I just don't know what to do. Like, I have too many things going on that I have to do, where when it comes time for me to sit down and actually do those things, my brain goes blank. And when I have a list to look at and to remind myself, okay, this is what I need to do and this is the priority, it's much easier for me to get things done a lot faster and not waste time scrolling, trying to remember what did I have to do today. And then another thing is, and this is going to be very beneficial for you if you have different projects going on, is that each day I work on one of my projects and I do very minimal mixing. I'm not going to say that I don't do any mixing because it's very hard, but I do very minimal mixing. So let's say, for example, today I'm working on Own the Trend and Own the Trend only. Once I feel like I have finished all of my tasks that I had to do for Own the Trend and I still have some time, I will then go in and maybe respond to anything that is urgent with my other businesses. But every day I have a primary project that I work on and get things done for, and I have 5 days of the week to be working. So 5 days of the week, 3 projects. You know, hopefully I'm able to sustain all 3 of them at the same time. And I'm very strict on not working too much on the weekends. Yes, I work from my phone, so obviously there's still some work being done on the weekends, but not working too much, because since my son is now in daycare for basically half of his day, I really appreciate the weekends for us to spend basically all day together and for this to be quality time with his mom and dad. So, and of course the rest of his family. So yeah, working on weekends is very, very minimal and only very urgent tasks. And then I have 5 days of the week, which is plenty of time to basically sustain and grow the 3 of my income streams. So this is what I'm doing to enter my new era after becoming a new mom. I feel like I can breathe, which is amazing. And I will be posting a lot more regularly. Please hold me to that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.